Hello, everyone. So, yeah, this is my first SSP. So I have a first-time attendee sticker on my lanyard. And that's because about 3.5 years ago, I was a researcher. I was actually working on driverless cars. So that's the world's first driverless taxi system, which is at Heathrow Airport. So if you're ever there, look for pod parking. You can go on a joyride there and back, and it won't cost you anything. But I was lucky to work for a company that encouraged the continuous writing and publication of research papers. So I was a mathematician, and we were working with others in transport research, collaborating on papers together. And we found it sucked, really. It was so hard to write papers together, especially cross-discipline. So I was a mathematician. I used LaTeX for my papers. We worked with environmental and social sciences who use Word, and we found it was just really hard emailing files back and forth. You'd end up with multiple versions. It was just a real nightmare, basically. And so the idea, really, from Overleaf came out was how could we solve this problem for ourselves? And actually, Overleaf, which was originally called Write LaTeX, was just a side project of ours. But it basically put the paper in the middle, in the cloud, and different people accessed it at different times. It's similar to Google Docs in that respect, that it merges changes seamlessly. It's really easy to use collaboratively, but what it does do is it also does the typesetting for you. Because it's based on LaTeX, it gives you a nice typeset version of the document in real time as you type, and you haven't had to install anything. You just go to a web browser and you can start writing. So this helped us solve our problems. We always knew where the latest version of the document was, and we all had access to it, and there wasn't a big email chain. If you needed someone else to join in that paper, that collaboration, you just sent them the link, and they could access it as well. And it really helped, especially with larger collaborations, like the automatic formatting that LaTeX does was really useful. And since we've continued to develop it, it's now got review tools built in, commenting, track changes, and all the kind of things that you expect from a word processor. And it's actually grown really, really well. I mean, we built it as a side project. It was just featured on Hacker News a couple of times, and after a few months, my co-founder said, well, we're either going to have to do something with this or shut it down because the server bills are starting to cost me some money. And that was 3.5 years ago, and so we've now got over 5 million documents have been created on the system, and that's ranged from students' CVs and project reports, to presentations, posters, and research papers. 400,000 authors. I mean, it's really used globally. So LaTeX has great support for languages, so Arabic, Hebrew, Cyrillic, Japanese, Chinese. It can be used in all those kind of languages. So we get usage from all over the world. And actually what was nice is we started to build up pockets of use in different communities and different institutions around the world. And so last year we launched Overleaf for institutions. And this was basically packaging it up with some extra features and some extra stuff for universities. We were quite fortunate in that Stanford University came on board as an early adopter. You've probably heard of Stanford. It's a university just a bit south of here. And so they wanted to do a case study, do a trial, run it for a year, see whether people even wanted it. And it was a real big success. So we had about 400 users before we started the trial. At the end, we had about 2,000. It's into its second year now. We're up to 2,700 people using it. And the library has got more data and more insight on how people are collaborating whilst they're writing their papers and reports. Rather than getting that data a lot later on, they get it much earlier, and they can use it to help make decisions at the library. We're also working with publishers to help streamline the submission process, because as an author, I knew that you had to go to a submission portal, you had to upload files. You ran into some problem. The problems varied, but there was usually a problem with submitting. But now, with papers being in the cloud, you can do things like passing metadata across. You can make automated submission links. You can really just help reduce the friction in the submission and resubmission workflow, because the author can see their paper in the cloud. The editors can potentially see that paper as well. We provide a lot of support as well, so we can help authors and editors as they go. We're working with a number of different publishers and also publishing services. So if you're an author, you can pull in your Mendeley bibliography data, for example, and then you can submit to one of our partner journals as well. We've just released a case study with F1000 Research, and we started working with them about a couple of years ago now. They were one of our early adopters. They didn't really support LaTeX submissions when we first met them. They now get about 10 to 15% of their submissions through us every year, and you can find the case study on our blog. And so that is me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.